Good evening and welcome to Yomi Maseches Taanit, Vav number 6. Shmuel is on his way. He's running as fast as he can. Even heard he fell a couple times. He's running so hard. Not joking. He's on his way. I wasn't able to do it earlier because Shmuel wasn't available. I know the appeal of Shmuel to our viewers, so I waited for him. He's gonna come in a couple minutes. In the meantime, we'll get started. The Gemara on the top of Vav and Aleph. The two dots, 4 lines down. Taanit Rabbanan Yoreh Shemore es habrios lahatiach gagusein ulahachnis es perosein v'lasas kol sarchein. It says in the Torah, two words referring to Rain Yoreh Malkosh. Yoreh comes from the lashon of a moreh that it teaches people in order to plaster their roofs, in order to bring in their crops, the fruits, to do everything they need to prepare for the winter. Saturates the land and waters it until the depths underneath the ground. It saturates the furrows gently. It takes care of the land, comes down, causes the growth, causes blessing to the growth. When someone teaches, Yoreh is lashon of teaching. They have to teach in a gentle way, not an overbearing way. So therefore, it's a reference to rain, that it reminds us that rain refers to rain that comes down gently. The first rain is important; it doesn't come down so hard because it's going to ruin the seeds that were just planted. Maybe actually Yoreh doesn't mean that. It means the rain that actually comes down. It's a strong rain, knocks the fruits off the trees, it uncovers the seeds that were planted, and and gives plenty of water around the trees to ruin the trees. Talmud Malkush says Yoro Malkush. They were connecting the pasuk. Ma Malkush the bracha. The word Malkush we're going to see is for bracha, is for blessing. Af Yoro the bracha. Also, the Yoro rain has to be for bracha. Eno el Malkush el shemapel sabatim u'mishabres ilanos malas sakar. Maybe even Malkush is a bad rain, which ruins houses. It breaks trees. It brings locusts. Talmud Lomer Yoreh says Yoro Malkush. My Yoro lebracha, Malkush lebracha. Again, we're comparing the two, so you have to start off somewhere. It has to be one of them is good. Shmuel, welcome. Come, sit down. Where are you going?
Hello. Look who's here, Rabbi.
Come, sit down. Rabbi, what's his name? Malik. Malik. Malik?
Rabbi Nalik.
Malik? I see him here sometime. I never spoke to him.
Say hello.
You want to say a part of the share, Rabbi? We're introducing a new part of our share, Rabbi. Nalik? Nalik?
Nalik, yeah.
How do you
He's an old
spell
Telstone.
that?
How long he's been in Telstone for?
Nalick.
N-A-L-S-E-K.
You see how long he's been in Telstone for?
How many years have you been in Telstone for?
Almost 40.
40 years. Wait a second. Almost 40. I'm 39 and a half. When did you move to Telstone?
1981.
That's more than 40 years.
Matter of fact, it will be
40 years.
40 years in next week, I think.
Wow, we have to
Next week. So why aren't you making a big party for this? 40 years in Telstone. Let's make a party. It's better than a Siyum. This is great. 40-year anniversary of moving to Telstone. That means he moved here before I was born. Do you know that? Can you believe that? That's how old Telstone is.
Wow.
And I'm not even an early guy.
Wait, so what are you bringing to the party next week? When are we having a party? You have to have a party for
You have
this.
to bring to his house. You have to bring something to the house. Maybe flowers or
Maybe you should bring some donuts because Hanukkah's coming up. You gonna bring some donuts?
You have to interview him and ask him about. That's a great thing. You think of the old Telstone people.
Do you learn Daf Yomi, right, Alec?
No.
You don't learn Daf Yomi. You never learned.
I've already done it. But I did it. I learned Daf Yomi here with Reb Baron.
Baron. So you've gone through Daf Yomi already.
Right. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, I give a Daf Yomi share. The best Daf Yomi share ever. There will never be a Daf Yomi share quite like this.
He's very humble.
Yeah, he's very humble, right?
We have a lot of fun this year. Shmuel is main form of entertainment. People really like him. I went to America and my father was partnering in my share with me. And it wasn't as successful as with Shmuel. Shmuel always brings a light-hearted comment to that. You know what I said right now? When we started Masechus Rosh Hashanah, I had my
He
famous
wants
comment.
to learn. Rabbi Nalka's learning.
Listen to this comment right now. We had this. I made the comment. I said, whoever does not listen to my Daf Yomi shir Masechus Rosh Hashanah, every shir, he becomes a goy. Can you believe it? I said that. I said that. We had dancing and singing. And some guy wrote back. He said, "I don't want to be a guy." He said, "I'm learning the daf." It was effective for one person who no longer listens to my shir. We're not having so much success over here. But maybe if we have a party right now, like next week, it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned.
He makes also
What time are you going to be here?
Maybe make a video about it and go to the Rabbi Nal's house and bring a little food and
What, the history of Telstone?
celebrate. No, and we'll go and interview him about what Telstone was like in those days. It was much different, probably, right? They probably
Much different.
They didn't even have a.
Do they have donuts? Right.
They didn't have a store. They didn't even have a store. You had to buy.
They still don't have donuts. They don't have a donut store. We're waiting for the donut store.
Donut store.
Yeah.
They don't have donuts here.
Bakery.
Here.
You have a bakery
up
donuts.
the hill. You have a bakery up the hill.
Shmuel, I want to tell you something
Okay,
that my
let's
father told me when I came back. I never told this to you. My father told me that he wants to personally send his welcome to you.
Thank you.
To
That's
return
very
to
nice.
my shir. He personally wanted to give you a handshake.
That's very nice of him.
Because of Corona, he's not flying because of COVID, he's not flying to Israel to give you a handshake. He's gonna remain in America. If it wasn't for COVID, he would.
Thanks a lot, Dad.
I'm joking. No,
Okay.
COVID is very serious. We take it seriously, but
Seriously,
it is serious. We don't joke about it.
Did you hear
But
this,
my father is very cautious
there's
with
a certain
COVID.
place in the world that the COVID is like it's again starting up.
Yeah, it's again.
It's not giving. I don't understand, but people got to get. They already got all their what do you call it? You know what I'm saying?
Vaccinations.
Vaccinations. How could it start again? I don't understand. Okay.
Anyway, my father is very cautious with COVID. That's why it was funny because he's very, very cautious. For example, like we went to Mincha, to daven Mincha.
I know. I've heard of Mincha. I know the afternoon prayers. Yes.
Yeah, he heard of Mincha, so we went to daven Mincha. They have still like in New York, they have some outdoor minyanim or whatever. My father likes to sit in the back. He takes the chair, goes all the way to the back. Outdoor minyanim. He's very cautious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's very cautious. Listen, he's over 60 years old, so I guess you have to be more careful. All right, Shmuel, you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. All right, we're in the middle over here. The second wide line. Talmud Lomer Yora, Ma Yora LeBracha, Af Malkush LeBracha. Just like Yora comes with bracha, so too Malkush comes with bracha. The Yora Gufe Minawan. Dechsev Bnei Tzion Gilu V'Simchu B'Hashem Elokeichem Kinasan Lachem Es HaMora Tzedaka Yora Lachem Geshem Mora U'Malkush Barishon. It says Bnei Tzion, like my name, Ben Tzion. Bnei Tzion, the people of Tzion will rejoice with Hashem because He gives a Mora. Mora is a lashon of Yora. This type of rain, tzedakah is a charity. Charity is normally a good thing, something that positive. So therefore, you see that Yora tzedakah is a good rain. So therefore, Yora Malkush is also a favorable rain. Yora falls in Cheshvan, the month we're currently in. Malkush b'Nisan, Malkush falls in Nisan. After Omer Yorba Marchesh Malkush b'Nisan, Yorba b'Tishrei Malkush b'Iyar. Maybe Yorba falls a month earlier in Tishrei. Malkush is a month later in Iyar. Talmud Lomer b'Ito. It says in Kriya Shema, right? You say Kriya Shema Shmuel?
Yes.
Okay. Yorba Malkush b'Ito has to be in its right time. The right time we know is for Cheshvan and Nisan. What is Malkush? What does Malkush mean? Amar Rav Hini Lai Bar Idi Amar Shmuel Davar Shemal Kash Yosein Shal Yisrael. It cuts away at the harshness of Klal Yisrael. The Beir of Shmuel Tana Davar Shemal Tvua B'Kasha. Another explanation. It fills the tvua in its ears. It fills it with plenty of grain. Masisa Tana Davar Yored Al Malilos Valakashin. It's something which goes down on the straw and the ears of the grain. Yora's in Cheshvan, Malchus Nisan, not the Omer Yora Marcheshvan, Kislev. Maybe it's actually in Kislev, like we're in now, actually. Why do I say we're in Marcheshvan? We're in Kislev now. Damalor Beito, Yora Malchus, Malchus Beito, Af Yora Beito. The proper time for Yora is in Cheshvan, not in Kislev. Has it rained yet, Shmuel, here in Eretz Yisrael? Because I went away for a couple weeks. I don't think it rained before that. Did it rain in the past couple weeks?
No, we're still
We're already
waiting.
in Kislev. We're still waiting for the rain. All right, Taanit, Yoram Marchesh Malchus Benisan, Divrei Meir. He says that Yorah is in Marchesh Malchus Benisan. Chacham Omrim Yorah Bekislev. Chacham say Yorah is in Kislev, which is the month we're in. Man Chacham, who's a Chacham? Amar Chisda Rabbi Yossi. It's Rabbi Yossi, the Sanya. Ezohi Revia Rishona Habechira Rishlosha Marcheshvan. What's the first rain? The first rain of the year. That's the third day. It should be by the third day of Marcheshvan. Beinonis, the second rain, Yeshiva Bo should fall by the seventh of Marcheshvan. Afela B'Shiva Asarbo. The last rain of the first three rains should be by the 17th. Rav Yehuda Omer B'Shiva will be Zayin V'Shim Shlosha. He says the times for the three first rains, the 7th of Marcheshvan, Zayin, and the 23rd. Yossi Omer be Zayin of Esrim Shlosha Rosh Chodesh Kislev. He says.
What does that mean? 3 times? What does it mean?
The first three rains. He says the
What
first
does it
three
mean? Rains every week. Like, how does it work? I don't understand.
No, he says at least, and we're going to see, in order to avoid fasting, you have to have rain fall by a certain time. So he says the first rain should fall by the 17th of Cheshvan, the second by the 23rd, and the third rain should fall by Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Yossi is a Shita. He says people, the Yechidim, there's Taanit Yechidim of the devout individuals, and there's the Taanit we'll see of the Sibor, where later on, where it really hasn't rained for a long time, the Yechidim don't fast until Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Rain hasn't fallen until Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Amar Chisda, Halacha Rabbi Yossi, Halacha follows Rabbi Yossi. Amir Masi Lahad Rabbi Chisda B'Halisha. Meimar says the teaching of Rabbi Chisda in this lashon, the following lashon. Malchus, when you start saying Talmud Livracha. Tanakama holds the third of Marchesh, and Gamliel holds the seventh of Marchesh. Amar Rav Chisda Halacha Karagam Liel. He says Halacha follows Ragam Liel. This would not accord with what he said before. Rav Chisda there before Pascha Rabbi Yossi, the first rain is Yud Zayin Marcheshvan. Ragam Liel Shita would align with Rabbi Yehuda, who says that the first rain is Zayin Marcheshvan. Kamana Azah the Tanya Rosh Liel Omer Gsham Shiyardu Shiva Yomim Zachar Zeh Atamon Behen Revia Rishon V'Shnia V'Shlishus. If rain falls 7 consecutive days, doesn't mean that you count all 3 fallings of rain. It means that you can count 2 out of the 3. Come on, Rabbi Yossi. It's like Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says, Yud Zayin, Chav Gimel, and Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So there's an interval of 7 days between the 2. The other Shitas say 3. It says, there's a problem. I had this problem with this Gemara. The Gemara seems to imply that if it falls for 7 days, you count it as all 3 rains. The way our scholar explains it is that you can count it as 2 out of 3, meaning if you start on Yud Zayin to Chav Gimel, it's 7 days. Chav Gimel to Rosh Chodesh Kislev is really 8 days, but if you count 7 24-hour periods, it would be 7 days. The other opinions have a space of 10 days between 2 of the rains, so you can never say that if rain falls for 7 days, you'll have accounted for 2 out of the 3 rains. What's the nafkamina when it falls? Like Shmuel's asking, what does it matter when the first rain falls? Lishal, that the nafkamina is that's when we start asking for rain. We start saying Talmud Livracha. Shlishis Lizanos. The third rain is important because it hasn't rained by then. Then the Yechidim start to fast. Shnia Lamai. What is the second rain important for? Amar of Zera L'Nadarim. It's relevant for Hilchos Nadarim. Desnan. If someone says, I'm not going to benefit from something until the Geshamim, or he says, Mishyardu Geshamim, until when the rains start falling, his reference means the second rain, because that's considered a substantial rain, and it's rained twice already. Razvid Amar L'Zaysim, the nafkamina is for Hilchos of Zaysim, a Shecha and Peah of olives. It's not, Amos I call them Mutar and Belekah Shecha of Peah. Right? Normally, Lekah Shecha of Peah, Lekah is, when you're collecting the crops, if they fall down. When you're collecting them, when the owner is collecting B'Shecha, you forget part of your crops. So Peah, part part of the corner of the field you have to leave over for the aniyim, right? So originally the aniyim get first dibs in, and then if they don't collect it, then other people can take it, even the wealthy people. So when does that start? Mishiyilchu hanamushos, when the rummagers finish going through it. People that really search for it, if they can't find anything, then everyone else can take whatever they didn't find. The parrot uva olot mishiyilchu aniyim mekaram yavo. Parrot is grapes that fall down. Olos is deformed clusters of grapes. So those are permitted for wealthy people when the aniyim go through the vineyard, and they go again a second time. B'zeisim v'sheteri revia shnia. When is it mutter to take the shicha and the peya of zeisim, of olives? These are trees, the fruits of a tree. Sheteri revia shnia. Once the second rain comes, is considered been around enough, long enough for the aniyim to take it, so that anyone can take it. My nemushos. What is lashon nemushos? Amar Yochanan Sabi the Azli Atigra. He says it's elderly people that walk with canes. Or Shlakish Amar Lakute Basar Lakute. These are the rummagers, people that go after the people that try to get it the first time and still couldn't find anything. Then the wealthy could take it. Rapapa Amar Kedei Lahalach with Shvile Rishos. The nafkamina of the second Ravia is when it's permissible to walk through someone's private property. Amar Mahalchim Kol Adam Mishvile Rishos Hashtei Ravia Shnia. Yeshua made, normally you're not allowed to walk through someone's property if he doesn't want you to walk through his property. But Yeshua, one of the Tanaim he made when he was Hanchel Klal Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael, and Gemara Baba Kama says, is that he said during the summer months you're allowed to walk through other people's fields for a shortcut. Once the plants start growing, so then you can't walk, you're going to ruin their crops. So you could walk until the Revi'ah Shniya comes, until the second rain comes, then it's considered you're not ruining the crops. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Amar Levar Peros Shvius. He says the fourth nafkamina, the Revi'ah Shniya is important in terms of eating or getting rid of Peros Shvius from your house. It's not a masa nehenin v'sarfi b'tevin l'kash shel shvius. Until when can you benefit and you can burn under your stove the straw and the stubble of Shvius? Achetei Revi'ah Shniya. Till Revi'ah Shniya comes. My time. What's the reason for this? It says regarding Shvius, Peros Shvius, for your animals and your wild animals. Now, behemoths are domesticated animals in your house. Chaya is wild animal. So the Gemara darshans, as long as the crop still exists in the field, meaning from seeds that were planted, that were left in the field and grew during Shvius, and fruit and plants sprouted and fruit sprouted. You could then the wild animals are eating it. So then you could feed your animals, your domestic animals, in your house. Once it finishes for the wild animals in the field, which is Revi'ah Shniya, the Gemara here says. So then you have to get rid of it from your house, and you can't benefit from it. Amar Rabbi Abba, my lashon Revi'ah. What is it we called on Amar Aleph? We called rain Revi'ah. When it waters the ground, it's called Revi'ah. Revi'ah is lashon of Roveya. It's a man and woman being together, or animals being together. Why is it referenced like that? Davar Roveya sakarka. It's something Roveya, sort of together and impregnates the land. The rain is considered the husband of the ground. The ground is considered like a woman, and the rain is like a man. Can you finish the pasuk, Shmuel? This is a famous pasuk.
This is a famous pasuk.
You've heard this pasuk. Where you heard this pasuk before?
So in the Bible.
In the Bible. Which Bible do you read, Shmuel? The Bible is the Chumash, no?
Yeah.
It's the Vim and Ksubim also. This is not in the Bible.
Oh, no.
No. Which Bible do you read? You read the New Testament or the Old Testament? Shmuel.
You know, there's people say the people coming, missionaries, they come here, they leave a lot of things around. You have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm. You never heard this pasuk during a Taanit Sibur, right?
Right. There's something to that.
Right? That's something like that. Taanit Sibur, my favorite day of the year. Which it's coincidentally we should talk about this Maseches Taanit.
Ah,
Because
very good.
if all that we're learning Maseches Taanit, we're talking about pasuk they say during Taanit Sibur.
That's right, very good.
Right? Right now, like when you heard the Shira Masachas Tainus, someone made that comment like I made
What comment?
that the pasuk mentions a pasuk they say during a Tainus Sibor. Quotes a pasuk over here. Ki asher yirid Geshem Hashem min hashemayim v'sham al yashuv kimer v'as ha'aretz al yidav etzmicha. You're familiar with that pasuk, right? It's in Tainus Sibor. They say in the Haftorah, right? I think it's a common pasuk. I think I've heard it, right? No, your Daf Yomi Shir and Magish never said that, right?
I have a feeling not.
Because it's funny, it mentions this pasuk during Masechas Tainus, which,
It's amazing.
talks about Tainus
It's
Sibor.
amazing.
See, I told you I had the best shir, right? I just gave you proof, undisputable proof. Right now, right? Yeah, undisputable proof that my shir is the best. Just give me a approbation. Say this is the best shir ever. Just tell you the best shir, right?
This is the best year.
The best shir ever. Yeah, and Alex said it. He's lived in Telstone for longer than I've lived, and 40 years of Telstone experience. You can't deny it. It is the greatest shir that existed ever. It will ever exist. Right now, like if you don't believe it, all right now, like you're a rebbe somewhere, or you work. What do you do?
Retired. I retired.
You're retired. He's a retire. You work. What did you do?
Yeah, I worked for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what did you
I
work?
worked in Yeshiva Toras Moshe.
Tomo.
Ah, you're a rebbe there. Toras
No, I
Moshe.
didn't say I was a rebbe. No.
What did you do?
I took care of day-to-day things. I was a masker meshek.
A what?
A masker meshek. Take care of day-to-day things.
Oh,
A manager.
he was a manager of Toras Moshe.
It's a big job.
Farmer manager.
It's a big job.
So he was around a lot of
So
Talmud
you were
Chachamim,
there for how
around
many
the Torah.
What?
How many years were you there for?
39 years.
Wow.
39 years.
I'm a very
Wait a
unexcited guy.
second.
I've been in the same yeshiva for 39 years, and I've
That's a
been in the
record.
same town
What?
for 40
Wait,
years.
what day of the year did you start 39 years
What does
ago?
that
Do you
mean?
remember?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Because I'm 30. Rosh Chodesh Elul, 39 years ago.
When did it start? That was when the yeshiva opened up?
Yeshiva, I was there the first day. Me and Rabbi Isaac.
You're
We're
joking.
the only ones.
Wait,
left.
1982 it opened? 1981.
81.
81, okay.
No, I guess, no, 82.
It's got to be 82.
Yeah, right.
So I was born. Can you believe this?
Oh,
This is an unbelievable,
How did it all come back to
an
you?
unbelievable sequence of events here. Listen what happened over here. And Alec moved to Telstone before I was born. Then I was born, and then Toras Moshe opened up. Can you believe it?
Must be.
I caused Toras.
This is crazy.
My birth.
He's gone.
Cool.
He just ran away. He wants nothing to do with this. How do you bring me in? Somehow you revolve, the world revolves around Ben
Yes, it does. You have to think about it. B'shvili nivra olam, right? I have a Gemara to support me. The world is made for you,
That's right.
right? So I single-handedly, I'm saying this the first time and not the last time. I will repeat this many times. We have discovered something new today, that the starting of Yeshiva's Toras Moshe, which is located somewhere in Yerushalayim, I don't know where, based on Hezron Rochevet.
I think so.
That yeshiva was all due to my birth, because right now I moved to Telson before I was born, and then after I was born, that following Elul, about 4 or 5 months after I was
It's called
born,
dumb luck because there's nothing to do with you. That's absolutely nothing.
and Shmuel is now a Rebbe at Toras Moshe. All because he learns with me in Daf Yomi. So therefore, I have 2 ways that I contributed to Toras Moshe.
Don't tell Rabbi Weissman that we're working in the yeshiva because he doesn't know about it. I mean, please, what is this?
All right, let's go on.
Let's go with this.
Let's go on.
Rabbi Weissman is a Talmud Chacham. He's a Rosh Yeshiva.
Right.
I don't know if he wants you to use his name as yeshiva.
Don't worry.
You know.
Don't worry. It's true. You have to smile. Just smile. People like your smile. You laugh easily. You smile easily. That's good.
Let's go.
All right, let's go on. So the Gemara says it's the lashon Rav Yadash or Rav Yasakar. Yehuda Mishra Baal the Arush Never Kasher Yerid. Right. This pasuk. So you see here, Vas Arz V'Holy David Smicha. The rain falls on the ground. It impregnates the ground. It causes it to sprout forth crops. Amar Rabbi Yavo, Rav Rishona. The first rain, they should tear the Bakarka Tefa. In order to be a good rain, it has to go into the ground, a Tefa. Shnia, they log of Piach. Obviously, it has to make mud that is muddy enough to make the top of a barrel. The top of a barrel is made out of clay. Amar Rav Chisda, Gesham Sheyirdu K'dei Lo Gofen Pi Chavis Ein Bahem Mishum Va'atzar. If it rains so much that it makes the ground so muddy that you can form into clay at the top of a barrel, it's no longer, it tells you it's not a curse in that year of Atzar Shemayim Lo Yeh Matar. So in Kriya Shema, Amar Abai Lo Amar Ela Kodem Va'atzar, the Orta. Ala Kodem Va'atzar, the Safra Yish Behem Mishum Va'atzar. If the rains before Va'atzar Kriya Shema at night, that's good. But if it rains between the two Kriya Shemas before the Va'atzar in the morning, that is not a good thing. The Amar of Yehuda Bar Yizchak, the Safra Leisbam Mashasha, the clouds in the morning are not really relevant. They're not even good. Your chesed, your charity, your kindness is like the clouds of the morning, which are not good. When it rains in the morning, it is a blessing. Even if someone who rides his donkey, he should take his sack of grain and fold under his head and go to sleep, because he's not going to have, there's going to be so much grain to be sold in the shuk, in the marketplace, he's not going to have any business. So it's a good thing. Lo kasha, had the cutter be eva, had the cutter be anani. If the cloud was full of thick clouds, if the sky was full of thick clouds, then it's a blessing, even if it rains in the morning. If it's thin clouds, rain in the morning is not a good thing. Amar Rav Yehuda, tava l'shasa the teves armalasa. It's good for a year when there's no rain during Teves. Some say the reason it's good it doesn't rain in Teves is that the people that teach Torah, the people that learn and teach Torah, shouldn't be empty there. That the yeshiva shouldn't be empty. They should be able to go to their yeshiva. There's no rain. Another reason why it's good is because it shouldn't. Shudafon is blight. When it's very windy, Teves is a very windy month, so if it's very rainy during it's going to ruin the crops with the wind. A's is true, but Amar of Chisda Tavel Shata Teves Minavalta. It's good for a year. That Teves is has Minavalta. It's nivul. It has a lot of rain. Lokash Ad Asa Mitra Mikara Ad Lo Asa Mitra Mikara. If it already rained in the year, you already have plenty of rain, so then it's better not to rain during Teves. If rain hasn't come, then it's better that it rains during Teves. Amar of Chisda Gishamim, we're learning a little behind there. Amar of Chisda Gishamim Sheyardu Al Mixas Medina Lo Yardu. They fell on half a state or half of a country, and the other half of the country didn't fall. It's not a curse of Atzar Shemaim. Aini is true. V'aksiv v'gamanachim manati michem es hageshem va'od shlosha chadashim l'ksir v'imtarti al irachas v'al irachas l'amtir chelka achas timoter. Talks about I removed geshem from you, and then it says I rained rain in one place of the Median country and another place not. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav Shtein l'kola. Both are a klola. First, that Hashem says He's removing the rain, and second, it's also the klola. If He puts rain in half the country and another half of the country not. If a lot of rain comes in one place, so it's gonna flood. It's gonna flood the ground. We'll see soon about the Inu Ben Sion. But if it comes in the necessary amount, then it's good even if one place, because they'll give grain to the other place. Amar Rav Ashi Daikanami. It's proof to that. The Chsiv Timater Tehei Makom Tar. Matar. It's a place of matar, meaning it's a full of rain. That's not a good. From when do you make a bracha on Geshem? When rain falls, you're supposed to make a bracha. What bracha? We thank you for every drop of rain that you let drop from heaven to us. Rabbi Yochanan would finish the bracha as follows. If our mouths were full of a song like the ocean, and our tongues were full of joy, like it's waves. We say Nishmas Baruch Rova Hados. You finish the bracha. Blessed is Hashem who has most of what he does is thanksgiving. We should thank him for that. Rova Hados V'lo Hados. Gemara wonders. We should thank him for most of the things. Instead, say kelodos. I'm Papa Hilkach, because we have two opinions on top of Zion and Aleph. Neiminu L'Tavaya will say both of them kelodos, rovodos, kelodos, and rovodos. We'll do a quick Iyun Ben Sion today. The question over here is that you say the bracha on rain. Mishayisei chasan lekras kala. So the Art Scroll explaining Rashi explains chasan lekras kala when there's so much rain on the ground that the rain coming down hits the puddle, and the puddle shoots up, and the chassan comes to greet the kala. Now we just learned that it's lashon revia. Rain is lashon of revia, lashon of man and woman being together. So the kala was the ground, not the rain, not the puddle of rain. The chassan was the rain, and the kala, the woman, was the ground, not the puddle of rain. So I want to give a different shot over here. That when you say the bracha kol tipa v'tipa, when it starts to rain, then the chassan comes to greet the kala, comes to greet the ground, because the rain goes directly onto the ground. When there's already a puddle, just the opposite of Rashi. When there's a puddle and it's shooting up, the rain, it doesn't reach the ground, then it's chassan nikras chassan. It's not a chassan nikras kala, and then you wouldn't say the bracha. You only say the bracha. And that's why we say rovados and kelados. Even kelados is not such a complete praise because kel is lashon of din, right? Yudke vavke lashon rachmim, kel is a lashon of din. Rovados also not a complete thing because since there's a possibility the rain will be so much that it'll form puddles and ruin the crops and be such a thing like that. So therefore we praise Hashem for rain, which mostly is a good thing, but there is a bad element to rain that it can be too much and it can overwhelm you. You can't go to yeshiva. It'll ruin the crops, blight, whatever, etc., etc. Have a good night.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. Bye.